Howdy. So, my second year of OS. I'm gonna go over pretty much everything I did in this year in near chronological order, and I'm going to also kind of assume that you know some things about me, like my first year. So if you haven't seen the video of my first year on OS, be sure to check it out on screen now. Also, in the comments, do tell me how you did this past year, as I last year had this interactive thing where I did the same thing, and we got a lot of responses, and I was kind of able to tell where most of the community is at after their first year. So please comment down below how your first year, how your second year went, how this year went for you for OS. Alright, one last thing before we start is I have changed my playstyle quite a bit compared to the first year, and I've changed it over this year a lot. It's really developed into kind of like my final playstyle, which is good, but also bad because I hurt my progression because I had so many shitty playstyles. But yeah, my progress is probably going to be shitty. It could have been a lot better had I realized some of the problems I had early on. Anyway, let's hop into it. Alright, so kicking off where I last left off was April 15th. Now, I uploaded the video on the 13th or the 14th, I can't remember, but I just started the Discord, and it started to grow. So we were holding multi-lobbies pretty much every single day. I got several 100 PP plays, actually sniping my high tide play a few times, propelling me into 5-digit territory on April 19th. At this time, I was switching between my left and my right hand for playing, and I was using Razor Greens. Anyway, heading towards the end of April, I realized how shit greens are for this game, and I needed to change switches because it was starting to hurt my progression. Actually, I was just a little bitch who didn't want to sound like I was beating my dick the whole time. I mean, greens are shit anyway. Feels like wet sponges. Anyway, I bought myself a keypad with browns. Now, the thing is, this keypad was easy to spam, so I was kind of a 220 BPM god because I could Vexi fucking spam the streams, like, you know, since it was flat, nothing was stopping me. I could do what Vexi does with his. Anyway, I passed Boys Zenith, which is a 7-star 220 BPM song on 426.17. The next day, I actually broke the key switch pad. I dropped on the ground and fucking monster truck hit that bitch from my chair. So, I don't know, but I ended up buying this Corsair K65 with red switches, and this time I couldn't really combo anything over 5.3 stars. This is just going to be kind of what I'm doing. I'll tell you where I'm at skill-wise. But anyway, heading into May, I was having really bad issues from switching hands. I would mess up my muscle memory, and I decided to switch to left-hand aim for a while, and instead of switching every day, I would switch every other week. So I started to focus more on my left hand, as it's more of my natural hand. I write with my left hand, so there you go. And I was better at aiming. However, I did lack tapping speed as my offhand, which in this case is my right hand. I kept losing tapping memory because when I would aim, I would get aim memory, and for some reason it would mess my tap memory. Anyway, about mid-May, I almost FC'd Bill Nye DT. I got an 89 accuracy, 1 miss, 115 play, 150 PP play. Blah. Ooh, it still burns me to this day. I was a dirty DT farmer from the beginning. Anyway, this pushed me into 2K PP at a solid 81K heading out of May. Alright, going into June, I entered several tourneys with people and friends from the Discord, and around this time, I had a lot of aim input lag, and it was from my 490, and I had enough of it. So I actually had a friend at this time who owned a 471, and I went over to his house to play with it, and I noticed such a massive difference that I ordered a 480 off of eBay right on the spot. And honestly, this was probably the best decision I have ever made in my OS career, as not only did it improve my tablet aim stability, it kind of like, I noticed other problems that I was developing from using the input lag ridden tablet. As you see, your cursor is moving slower from the input lag, so you have to tap slightly later to compensate. And with rhythm games, this is kind of like, what? Why would you do that? Anyway, my average play at the time was somewhere between 86 to 90, and the day I got my 480, I noticed how late I was tapping and how bad the input lag actually was, and I brought it up to like 93, 94 just in the first day. I'm just relieved I figured this out early on. Otherwise, I would probably still be here with a 490 if it wasn't for that. And plus, I probably would have still recommended that garbage tablet. Anyway, from June to August was pretty much nothing. I mean, I was just in tournaments. I was changing hands every other week, but no solid plays. Nothing really to progress on. I did have 1 or 2 PP plays in July, and on July 16th, I beat my Bill Nye play, and it was Stellarium on 162 PP, and it was a 1-miss choke. At this time, I was 61k with 2500 PP. About mid-July, after the end of one of the tournaments, I got a 165 PP choke and beat that last play, sending me into the top 50k. You can watch the video on screen now, and yeah, I was starting to choke a lot of 5.6 star FCs, and I could pass most lower 6 stars and 5.9 stars. Also, if you're wondering how the tourney went, the first one, we got 3rd. The second one, we got 2nd. And the last one, we actually placed last. Right, rolling into August, I lost internet for pretty much the entire month. This was really due to financial issues, mainly on my part, because I was supposed to cover the internet, and I wasn't doing that. I didn't have my summer job that I normally did at the time. So I didn't and couldn't really play until I got internet later in August. I was actually working too, so... But I started to notice some pretty big issues with my playstyle in August, and I decided switching hands would need to stop. I was destroying muscle memory from other plays, and both of them have pros and cons, and just ultimately decided to play with my weaker hand, which is my right hand. And from August on, I have been playing right-handed. There's actually a little more to this. When I was destroying my muscle memory, it pretty much consisted of I would build up memory for a week and tapping, and then I would switch, and then the hand that was tapping would be aim, and then I would just keep losing my consistency with the hand, so I had to stick with one hand to keep consistent. And you know, it's just, I can't believe I was playing ambidextrous so long. I've hurt my progression so bad from this, and I didn't listen to anybody. So if you're out there and you're like me trying to play ambidextrous, please choose a hand. I chose the weaker hand in my case because it'd be easier for me to build for my natural hand, which is my left hand to tap, and my weaker hand to learn how to aim. And eventually I got to where I am today using my weaker hand to aim. Alright, so I have no scores that actually have been submitted in August. I have a few offline from when I played, which is on August 4th. Actually, these weren't offline, these were submitted in August, and it was a Clarity and a Sagai Kimi pass. As September rolled by, I was highly unmotivated to play OSP. There was drama going on in my life, and I was kind of defeated from not having internet for a month. So I ultimately decided, since Destiny 2 just came out, that I would spend nearly all of September playing it, as I had put 300 days into the first one. By the way, I was top 400 trials for the first 3 weeks. Yeet! Anyway, same old shit really. October comes in, I'm highly unmotivated, until I start to talk to 3 really just fucking amazing people that I can't thank enough for what they've done, and they just not only motivated me, but they helped me sort out some of the cancer shit in my life. And just seriously, you guys are fucking awesome, right? I don't want to name you off because I ain't like that, but shit, I'm like that. Anyway, again, no PP plays, just straight progression. I was just really I was trying harder to better myself, and I worked on streaming a lot, as it was probably my weakest attribute. I started to consistently stream 220 towards the end of October, and actually on October 29th, something really good happened to me. Kind of, you know, well, it filled me with determination, and I was determined to finally come back to this anger management relapse simulator. So, for the first time since May, really, I was enjoying Osu. Alright, but this fucking fuck had to stop, right? This 200 PP ringing in my head. You bastard, I'm coming for you. Alright, so heading into November, I was playing a lot, pretty much every day, almost all day, and I was working mainly on my progression on streaming, and actually streaming to YouTube, so you might get confused. I'll try to clarify between the two the best I can. And I was able to pass most sub 6.4 star maps, and was starting to choke some lower difficulty stream maps, such as Through the Fire and Flames, 6-star Yuta, and the 5-star and the lower 6-star Blue Zenith. And on November 9th, I finally passed Through the Fire and the Flames. I also made a bold tweet on Twitter saying that I would be able to FC it in 2 months. We're not 4 months later. Shh, ignore that tweet. Anyway, around this time, I also decided to change my tablet area to accommodate my new muscle memory for my right hand. I'm not naturally right-handed, so I had to play with a smaller area to accommodate to kind of like my shakiness, because I couldn't really aim accurately on a fuller area, which is what I played with my left hand. I played full area. Anyway, I had a lot of shit misses because my area was super tiny, so I was able to widen the area a little bit, which pretty much made me an at-god Kiepa. But anyway, mid-November rolls around, and I'm finally used to this new tablet area, and a few things happened that would change my life for the worst. Unfortunately, I lost one of the best friends I've ever had, and I decided to take a break from streaming to YouTube. I really just played OS every day as a way to kind of escape and to remember some times. But anyway, about a week later, my hard work paid off, and I started to FC maps a lot. And within a week, I put out so many scores that I started at 45k on November 9th with 3001k PP, and I went to 38k by November 27th with 3004k PP, and also a 200 PP play to finally shut that Viking fuck up on Hachigatsu no Yoru for 208 PP. Spicy. Also, on November 30th, I released a video going over stuff I wanted to accomplish by the new year. I will reference a couple of things here, so if you haven't seen the original, please check it out, or don't, it's your thing. I pretty much outlined 9 things I wanted to accomplish. Some of them I completed, some of them I didn't. Alright, December. This is probably the best month of progression I think I've ever had. I had so many PP plays that I would rather stick to my progression plays rather than PP, as that's all I really care about is progression. PP is just a side thing. However, I do bring up some PP plays because it gives you perspective as to my skill level at this time, because PP plays do correlate to skill in a way. Anyway, starting the month off, I almost completed my Clarity FC goal on December 4th with a 240 PP play. A 1 miss choke, by the way. I missed it in the very beginning. It's so bad. If you watch it, it's just Anyway, so from December 2nd to the 6th, I went from 44k to 29k, getting several 220 and 240 PP plays. But, something that I was really more proud of happened. I ended up FCing the 6-star version of Mikasa with 96 accuracy. I mean, I could have done better, but still, a spicy FC. Have you played Mikasa? I mean, shit, go play it. It's one of my favorite maps ever. Please play it. So just play it. It's fun. Alright, mid-December comes around, and I'm getting new plays practically every day. I'm choking harder maps, I'm choking Tears Don't Fall, I'm choking Segai ga Kimi, and on December 16th, I ended up getting an A on Segai ga Kimi with a slider break 50 combo away from an FC. Giving me my third or my second 240 PP play. And I also hit 28k with 4k PP club on my sweater. Nice. At this time, I also decided to do some tournaments. A longtime friend asked me if I wanted to do a 2v2 tournament with him, and I thought, why not? It's a perfect opportunity to kind of sharpen my skills that I'm getting. But there's a pretty big problem. I was a filthy no-mod pleb, so I started to scramble to learn DT, which was probably my worst mod, to be honest. Even though I have the most plays with DT, it's my worst mod, because I couldn't really act higher than 90. Anyway, I started to play higher OD songs like Heartfelt Fancy and Die Die with DT, and even HR. I started to play a little HR. On December 23rd, I got my new Speed Switch keyboard, and on the same day, I got a 299 PP play on Die Die. Anyway, I also fucked around with HR, but I would really only play it on 4-star maps for some fucking reason. Anyway, by New Year, I accomplished everything I wanted to do but 2 things. I didn't get the 8-star pass, and I did not get the Worldwide Choppers pass, which the drain is... Oh, fuck that map. Anyway, I ended 2017 at 21k with 4,300 PP. hella good compared to 2016 when I ended it with 1,200 PP. And to be honest, I'm really proud of this year. Even at this point, I was looking back saying, wow, it's a lot better than my first year for sure. If I'd kept at it on my first year, I could probably be where I'm at now in my first year. Anyway, we have 4 more months. Skid it, month. We have 4 more months. What's English? Anyway, January and February were like the summer months for me. I was in a couple of tournaments, so progression-wise, nothing really happened as I was focusing more on playing tournament maps. Starting with January, I decided to dedicate an entire month to learning DT and HR, and it ended up paying off pretty well, pretty big time, to be honest. I noticed my aim, reaction aim was a lot better, and my accuracy increased along with my reaction tapping. So my speed and my reaction were kind of like, they were starting to mix, and I was starting to become an HR god, to be honest. I was choking 5-star FCs with HR. Pretty much in the tournaments I was in, I was playing HR, and I was FCing a lot of tournament maps, and to be honest, I won us some of the games by just my score alone. Anyway, by January 6th, I FC'd the other difficulty, the actually newly ranked Die, netting me a spicy 303 PP. Dirty Die filth. Anyway, this would be my only 300 PP play for a while, as most of January was HR and DT training, and my progress score for 120 was, I guess, Asgore. That was the only really thing I would consider a progress play for the month. I passed the 7-star of Asgore. Anyway, on the 24th, I had my first 5-star HRFC on Sweets Weekend with 240 PP. A few days later, I FC'd Bye Bye Yesterday with HR for 256 PP, and then Sore ga Ai I forget it. It's Sore ga Ai something, and it's 251 PP. I kind of started to realize that I was an HR player rather than a DT player, and I was having a lot of fun playing HR, to be honest. You don't stop me now. Anyway, by the end of January, I got top 70 on Eyes Have Closed when it was ranked with a 3-miss 96 act play. Not sure why I wanted to... I'm not sure why I put this down on my progress list, but I mean, shit, I have it. Pfft. Also, I realized I could snipe this big mouth Viking fuck on Flamingo. I'm coming for that ass. Bang Bang started off February with an explosion of a Flamingo FC for 276 PP, propelling me to 18k with 4,600 in PP. This month was just inactive city, right? So I decided I would just kind of take a break, play the tournaments and kind of relax and spend some time with my Grillo, that bastard. Anyway, unfortunately, in both the tournaments, we were eliminated fairly early. Still, nevertheless, shout out to Boo, Nerdy, and Jellian, and Dusty. You bastards, we went down like true Lao bros, China #1. Anyway, I spent the rest of the time in February just playing HR. I netted another 230 PP play on Lucky Star with HR, which is a 5.7 star map. And honestly, this is a seriously underrated play. I mean, play this map with HR and then you decide. Anyway, I was now 14k with 4,700 and 700 PP. On Valentine's Day, I managed to 1-miss choke the 6-star of Inferno, and it was somehow 178 PP. What? Okay, I don't know what I don't know what my progression is at this point. Anyway, 215 rolls around. I SS Bill Nye, the same song I got 89 act with in May. Needless to say, you can check out my reaction on a video on screen now, and it was a spicy 230 PP. By mid-February, I decided to change the pace and started to play 6-star stream maps with HR and higher 5 stars with HR for OD10 maps, and really just try to rip my asshole as much as I could. I mean, I was trying to fit as much PP and progression as I can in there. Anyway, I was failing maps for a while, and I was again in the same situation. I was choking through the fire and flames. Just so many stream maps with HR. It was bad, but I struggled for the rest of the month, really. Just trying to play hard maps with HR and seeing just where it would take me. I left February with a bang as well as I FC'd Brand New World for 279 PP, making me a 14k exactly with 4,900 PP. Bring on March. I was also fairly inactive for this month as some things happened and pretty much I had to move, and being the only person to pack a family of 4 is minyam as fuck. Anyway, I almost passed Yomi Yori on the second day of the month with Hard Rock, and I actually would have passed if it wasn't for the beginning jumps. I had no fail on, so that's how I can say I would almost pass. Anyway, I started to try Big Black with Hard Rock, and my first Hard Rock score on Big Black was 63 accuracy. Both of these were on the first and second days of the month, and on the third day of the month, I tried Big Black no mod and found myself passing those beginning jumps. What the fuck? It's unheard of for me. Anyway, I was making tons of progress, getting an 83 ac no fail play, which to this day is my highest accuracy on the map. The same day, I managed to conquer another Titan, which was Through the Fire and Flames on HR, and I managed to pass it with 78 ac. Anyway, we're gonna move on, ignore that ac. Anyway, the next day, I passed Heartfelt Fancy with DT. Just play the map. Play the map with DT, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I used to choke that map for a while, and passing it boosted my morale a lot. I actually felt like I could do a lot more. I was so full of adrenaline that I was like, fuck it. 5.7 star HR Inferno? Let's get it! I somehow managed to get a 1-miss choke for like, I think it was 200 PP flat, and not a bad way to start the first couple of days of March out. Am I right, or am I right? Anyway, March was the same as February. I was trying really hard with DT and HR to progress, and essentially I was setting some goals for myself to accomplish so that way I had motivation to play and I wouldn't lose motivation. The first one was a Ange du Blancpio pass, which is a space stream map, and for some reason I always overstream it, but I can aim the space streams. Anyway, the next was a big black pass, and the last is an Eyes Have Closed remap pass, which I can sometimes aim those jumps. It's with DT, by the way. It's really weird. On March 17th, I decided to hop on the new tablet driver train, and my first couple plays were fucking spicy as shit. I got a Zinz HR no fail FC for 171p. Why did I have no? Oh yeah, kind of because Curva Spinner. Anyway. So, with these tablet drivers somehow making my aim good... Welcome in, Tellerino, you bastard. Anyway, Tellerino decided to fucking troll the shit out of me and recommend me Sex and Keck 6 different times in a row. Nice. March 22nd is when Mikasa got qualified, and it's honestly one of my favorite songs and maps, so shit, go play it. It's ranked now. Go get some PP, it's fun. Anyway, I've realized at this time it was hard to get PP plays over 250 without mods. So I kind of either had to learn how to FC 6.4 star maps with no mod, or just FC lower star maps with mods. And I know damn well 90% of the people watching this can't do either of those. So anyway, I decided to just full on focus on progression and forgot PP plays entirely. On 322, I changed my tablet area again, and this time I somehow started to be able to jump. I mean, jump has always been my weakness. I trained streaming. Streaming's better now. And I FC'd Streaming Hearts on Clyde's Extra, a 6.4 star for 268 PP. I know I just said I stopped focusing on FCs, but it's just kind of like what happened last year, where I would start a map and end up FCing it. Anyway, right after that play, I was pumped again, and just somehow I just got temporary God mode. I decided to play this map called First with HR, which was a 6.3 without HR and was a 6.5 with HR, and FC'd it with 94 accuracy. Anyway, being the meme I am, I got 330 PP and basically was shook for the rest of the month. I still don't understand. How did I hit those jumps? Somebody tell me. Anyway, this play also propelled me into 5k PP. Yay! And at this time, I am 12k. Anyway, the next play isn't me, but you know I gotta give it to him. I gotta give my nigga Angelian a shout out. That Chase Me FC. Good shit, my guy. Alright, the rest of the month is really just improvement shits. I mean, I listed off my best act and my goal maps for future me, and I'll relist them here now so I can compare. Future me can compare it to the me of now. It's really weird. This is just for me, kind of. Anyway, currently on remap I have 64 accuracy DT, and that's actually today it's 68 accuracy, a DT no fail or DT no fail score. My highest accuracy is Big Black HR 74 accuracy, and last but not least, I'm still choking on that long schlong of Anje. Anyway, so this kind of concludes it, and again, I would like to list off some goals for this year. So this time I can hopefully complete these, or I can compare to my old self and see where I'm at in a few months' time. Anyway, I want to be a 4-digit. I want to pass Blue Zenith 4 dimensions. I want to pass Big Black Nomad. I want to pass Anje. I want to pass the 7-star Wretched Mikasa, the 7-star Yuta, Hopes and Dreams Deemer, I was thinking of, anyway, DT pass. I just have closed DT remap pass, and finally, probably my ultimate goal, a 400 PP play. Best of luck, future me, and let me know your first year, second year, third year, whatever year of OC you're in right now. Let me know in the comments below how it went for you. Also, I have a Discord. You should check it out and join it. We're kind of active again. A lot of people are trolls in it, so if you join and someone gives you a weird or just kind of a mean answer, they're probably trolling you. I'll get onto them for that. Anyway, generic outro.png. See you in the next video. Thank you for a wonderful year. Without you guys, I don't think I would still be here today on this weird circle clicking game. Peace.